Every time money moves to Nigeria, somebody wins. But sometimes that person is not you. Sometimes it is the app. Sometimes it is the exchange rate. Sometimes it is a small hidden cost you did not even notice. And if you are sending money home, receiving dollars from clients, paying suppliers, supporting family, importing goods, or trying to build a business that connects Nigeria to the global market, that small difference is not small. It can be food money. It can be school fees. It can be transport. It can be your profit. It can be the money you needed to place your next order. It can be the difference between helping your family with confidence and feeling pressure every time someone asks you for support. It can be the difference between working hard and actually keeping the reward. That is why this video matters, because most people are not broke because they are lazy. Some people are broke because every time they move money, a piece of their future is being cut away quietly, not in one big amount, but little by little. One bad rate, one extra fee, one wrong withdrawal, one app that looks cheap, but lands less money in the end. So today I tested Wise, Gray, LemFi, and Payoneer for Nigeria, not like a casual user, like a Nigerian freelancer, like someone abroad sending money home, like a business person paying suppliers, like an importer who cannot afford to lose profit before the goods even arrive. And by the end of this video, you will not just know which app is best. You will know which app is best for your money route, because that is where most people make the mistake. They ask, which app is the best? But the better question is, what am I trying to do with the money? Am I sending money to family? Am I receiving dollars from clients? Am I withdrawing from a global platform? Am I paying for business? Because the wrong app for the wrong job can make a good income feel small, and the right app for the right job can help you keep more of what you already worked for. So let's build the scoreboard. There are 4 things we are testing. Number 1, how much money finally lands in the Nigerian bank account? Number 2, how fast does it land? Number 3, how easy is it to receive foreign money? Number 4, can this app help you grow, not just survive? That last one is important because money apps are not just apps, they are bridges. A good bridge helps you move from local struggle to global opportunity. A bad bridge charges you every step of the way. Let's start with Wise. Wise is the app I would call the cleanest for transparency. Before you send money, Wise usually shows you the fee, the exchange rate, and what the receiver should get. That is powerful because when you are moving serious money, you do not want surprise math after the transfer is already gone. You want to see the damage before you press send. That is where Wise feels strong. It is not just saying, trust us. It shows you the numbers. And for business people, that matters. If you are paying someone outside Nigeria, buying from suppliers, or planning cross-border payments, Wise gives you a clean view of what is happening. But here is the truth. Wise is not automatically the winner every time. Sometimes Wise gives you a strong final amount. Sometimes another app may land more Naira. That is why you should never fall in love with the brand. Fall in love with the final number. If you send $1,000, the question is not, which app looks professional? The question is, how much Naira lands? That is the scoreboard. Now let's talk about Gray. Gray is not just about sending money. Gray becomes powerful when you are in Nigeria and you want to receive foreign money. If you are a freelancer, creator, remote worker, consultant, designer, developer, writer, or online business person, Gray is one of the apps you should understand. Because the goal is not only to receive money, the goal is to stay connected to the dollar economy. That is a different level. When you earn in dollars and spend carefully in Naira, you are not playing the same game as someone who only earns locally. Now let me explain one technical word here. ACH. ACH is a bank-to-bank payment system used in the United States. In simple English, it means money moving directly from one bank account to another. So if you hear ACH deposit, just think bank transfer. Now with Gray, the important thing is the fee structure. Some fees are capped, and capped fees can become powerful when your income grows. For example, if a fee has a maximum limit, then the bigger your payment becomes, the smaller that fee feels as a percentage. That is why Gray can be very useful for serious freelancers. If you receive small amounts, you still need to check the cost. But if you receive larger client payments, the math can start working better for you. And this is where I want you to think bigger. A lot of people only think about today's transfer. But the real question is, what happens when your income grows? What happens when you start receiving $1,000? What happens when you start receiving $3,000? What happens when you start receiving $5,000? The app that works for small money may not be the best app for bigger money. And the app that feels confusing today may become powerful when your business grows. So for Nigerian freelancers and online workers, Gray is not just an app. It is a tool for receiving opportunity, but it is not perfect for everything. If your only goal is to send money quickly to family in Nigeria, Gray may not be the smoothest choice. For that, we need to talk about LemFi. LemFi feels built for everyday African money movement, sending money home, supporting parents, helping siblings, paying urgent bills, covering school fees, moving money to Nigeria without turning it into a whole bank problem. That is why LemFi is strong. It understands the emotional side of money because sending money to Nigeria is not just a transaction. Sometimes it is love. Sometimes it is duty. Sometimes it is emergency. Sometimes it is the reason someone at home can breathe that week. So when an app makes that process fast and simple, people care. But let me say something important. Zero fee does not always mean zero cost. The transfer fee is only one part of the story. The exchange rate is another part. Foreign exchange simply means the rate between two currencies, like dollars and Naira. So if an app says zero fee, but the exchange rate is weaker, the cost may be hiding inside the rate. That is why you must always check final Naira, not the advertisement, not the big promise, not the word free, final Naira. If LemFi lands more money, LemFi wins that transfer. If Wise lands more money, Wise wins that transfer. If another app lands more money, that app wins that day. No emotion, just math. Now let's talk about Payoneer. Payoneer is different. Payoneer is not always the cheapest, but Payoneer can be the door that gets you paid when other apps cannot. And that is why many freelancers still use it. If you are receiving from marketplaces, global companies, freelance platforms, or international business clients, Payoneer can be useful because many businesses already understand it. That is the advantage. Sometimes the biggest problem is not how to save fees. Sometimes the biggest problem is how to receive the money in the first place. And Payoneer can solve that problem. But here is where people get hurt. They receive the money, they feel happy, then they withdraw, then they convert, then the final amount looks smaller than expected. Why? Because the cost may not be one big visible fee. It can be a chain. One cost to receive, one cost to withdraw, one cost in the exchange rate, one cost because of the route you used. That is why Payoneer should not be your emotional favorite. Payoneer should be your strategic tool. Use it when it helps you get paid. Use it when the platform supports it. Use it when the client trusts it. But after the money enters, do not withdraw blindly. Compare your exit route. Because in business, the app that helps you earn is not always the app that helps you keep the most. Now let's rank them properly. For sending money home to Nigeria, I would check LemFi first. Not because it is perfect, but because for everyday remittance, family support, and fast Nigeria-focused transfers, LemFi is one of the strongest options. But still check final Naira before sending. For receiving client dollars in Nigeria, I would check Gray first. Because if you are a freelancer or remote worker, your problem is not just receiving money. Your problem is protecting the value of your income. Gray can be strong when you are receiving foreign payments and converting carefully. For business payments, supplier payments, and serious cross-border planning, I would check WISE first. Because transparency matters. If you are importing, paying people abroad, or tracking business costs, you need to see the numbers clearly before you move. For marketplace payouts, I would keep Payoneer ready. Not because it is cheap, because sometimes Payoneer is the door. And when a door gives you access to global income, you do not ignore it. You just manage the cost carefully. Now here is the real winner. The real winner is not WISE. It is not Gray. It is not LemFi. It is not Payoneer. The real winner is the person who stops using one app for every job. Because money has direction. Money has purpose. Money has timing. The best app depends on the route. If you are sending money to your mother, use the app that lands the most Naira quickly and safely. If you are receiving dollars from clients, use the app that protects your dollar value. If you are paying suppliers, use the app that gives clean records and transparent costs. If you are receiving from global platforms, use the app that gets you paid. Then manage the withdrawal carefully. That is how professionals move money. They do not ask, which app do people like? They ask, which route keeps more money in my pocket? Here is the simple formula. Final money received equals amount sent, minus visible fee, minus exchange rate loss, minus withdrawal cost. That is the real cost. The fee is not the full cost. The exchange rate is not the full cost. The withdrawal is not the full cost. The full cost is the difference between what you started with and what finally lands. So before you send money, do this. Open two apps side by side. Type the same amount. Choose the same destination. Look at the final Naira. Take a screenshot. Do this for 30 days. You will know the truth with your own money, not based on adverts, not based on opinions, not even based on this video, based on your route. Because once you understand your money route, you stop being just a customer. You become an operator. That is the mindset shift. Poor money movement is emotional. Professional money movement is measured. So here is my final verdict. If I am sending money home to Nigeria, I check LemFi first. If I am receiving dollars as a Nigerian freelancer, I check Gray first. If I am paying suppliers or moving money for business, I check WISE first. If I am receiving from global marketplaces, I keep Payoneer ready. But I never trust any app blindly. Every transfer gets tested. Every rate gets compared. Every fee gets calculated. Because in 2026, the person who controls the route controls the profit. And if you are building a life between Nigeria and the world, that profit is not just money. It is freedom. It is school fees paid on time. It is suppliers paid without panic. It is family support without stress. It is business growth without silent leaks. It is the difference between working hard and actually keeping the reward. So the real winner is not the app. The real winner is you when you stop sending money blindly. This is Trade Afrique. If this video helped you understand money movement better, consider subscribing. We are building this channel from the ground up for Africans who want to earn globally, move money smarter, import better, and keep more of what they work for. Be part of the early subscribers. And if you want the next step, watch my last upload next. I will see you in the next video.